Well, pornography has been something that's been on my heart a lot over the past many years as I've thought about my music and my writing in any ways I can influence. One, because I just know how much of an epidemic it really is among young men. It's come to the point where if I talk to a young man about his life, I'm not, whether it's somebody my age or a little bit younger or maybe a little bit older, I'm not at all surprised to hear that there's some kind of struggle with porn. And I would be shocked if I met a young man who hasn't had a struggle with it at some point, because it's just so easily accessible and it's so damaging to our soul. So when I talk to young men who are struggling with it, often what you get, if it's a Christian, if it's a guy who's a Christian and really wants to honor Jesus, often what you get is this just very deep despair. Because it's unique. It's a unique sin, even unique to other sexual sins, because you don't, at this point, have to go anywhere to indulge in it. You don't have to make a long series of bad decisions to fall into it. It can just be very easy in your pocket at any moment. There's often this kind of despair, feeling they're imprisoned by their sin, feeling they want to fight it. They felt like it was good for a week. And so one of the first things that I want to do is I want to remind them of the gracious gospel of Jesus, the good news of Jesus. That, hey, you could have looked at porn every day for the last 500 days, and Jesus has not run out of grace. That same cross that you heard about the first time is the same cross that can forgive you now. The second thing I want to do is I want to press into their heart the seriousness of that sin. That we wouldn't in any way think, just because it's our eyes on a computer screen or because it's just us by ourselves engaging in whatever we're engaging in, that it's less of a serious sin. No, this sin is very serious, mainly because of the God you're sinning against. Also, the people you're sinning against who you're watching on porn, and also the way it's going to affect your life, your relationship with Jesus, your future marriage if you're not married yet, your marriage if you are married, all of those reasons. And then the third thing I want to encourage is be very open about that sin. The biggest mistake I think that so many people make because of embarrassment, and though we wouldn't want to admit it, our love for that sin is we don't want to expose ourselves to other people. But when we refuse to expose that sin, what we're really saying is, instead of killing this sin, I'm going to coddle it. Instead of fighting this sin, I'm going to protect it, and I'm going to leave it over here in the dark where it can keep surviving and keep growing and go deep into my heart. If we want to kill that sin, we have to expose it. We have to bring other people in and confess that sin very regularly. So those are the main things. I want to remind you of the gospel. I want to remind you how serious that sin is. And I want to remind you of the benefits of other believers in your life to help you fight it.